Hi everyone, it's Tammy, and today we are going to do a one sheet wonder card, and this is where you take one sheet of designer series paper and you make 10 cards using one sheet of designer series paper and your base papers. I've already cut some of these, but I have more to cut with you guys, and then also I am doing 20 cards because I have a lot of cards I need to make. So what I'm going to do first is you take your paper and you actually need to cut it at 4.5, and it's best if you have some that isn't directional, but I wanted to show you with both a directional one and then one that didn't really matter so much if it was directional, and you could use the other side too. So you know, we're gonna make it all work, but I was going to show you this first. So I'm going to, am I doing this the right way? I'm thinking in my head if this is, no, I'm not. I need to cut it this way. So you need to cut it first at 4.5, and then you cut it again at 4.5, and then that leaves you with a 3-inch piece of paper, and then you cut this at 4.5, and then you cut it at 4.5 again, and this is what you're left with. This is the trash from the paper. That's the only trash that you have. And then you take your paper that you cut at 4.5 and you cut this at 3. I don't know if it'll cut through all those sheets or not. Too many. And this is fun when you have to make a lot of cards and you don't really, I mean, it's okay that they're the same. If you needed to make some invitations to a party or, I don't know, a wedding, anything, you can make some really cute, fast cards. I guess maybe not a wedding, but birthday party, thank you notes, Christmas cards. This is a fabulous way to use your product wisely. So there is all 20 of my card fronts or bases, or however I want to do it. And then what you do is you take your base cards, and I'm just using craft paper for this just because I thought that it went well. I don't know, I just am into this right now. So I'm going to take a couple pieces of my craft paper, and I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off of the 8.5-inch side. So I'm going to make it 7 inches. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to cut it at 5 inches. So I'm making each card base 5 by 7. And then you have this little bit extra that you can toss or you can keep. In my case, I'm going to keep it for now, and I will tell you why in a minute, because I'm going to use it to stamp it. I'll show you why in a minute, I guess. I'm going to take another 2 pieces. And this is our Stampin' Up! Stampin' Trimmer. I love this trimmer. Not only is it a trimmer, it's also a scorer, and that comes in very handy when you're making cards. Because we still need to score these too. So now it's cut at 7.5 inches, or 7 inches. I turn it, cut it at 5. So it's 5 by 7 and 5 by 7. One more time. This craft paper curls. I don't know why, but it's kind of funny. I'm going to cut it 1.5 inches off. Oops, I didn't go all the way through. And then I will cut it at 5 inches. And then again at 5 inches. And then I have this little piece of straggler that I didn't do a very good job cutting, so I'm just going to use my scissors and give that the little haircut. So then when I have it cut at 5 by 7, all of them, so I have 20 card bases here, I'm going to take my card and score it at 3.5 inches. So my score blade I keep at the top. So I have 3.5 inches, and I'm just going to do this to every one of these. And I know this seems like a little bit of work, and it is a little bit, but it's not. I mean, if you were making this many cards anyway, you'd still have to score them all. And scoring, you usually have to do one at a time. So this kind of a card is fun to do if you are watching YouTube or if you are filming a YouTube video. It's kind of fun. It's just, you know, doing the same thing over and over again. It's easy and it's not a lot of thinking, so it's fun to, like, I like to watch TV or YouTube while I craft. So if I'm not filming, what I usually have on is either my favorite YouTubers, or I go to Amazon Prime and watch something from there, or Netflix and watch something from there, or I will watch like Judge Judy or People's Court, where I don't really have to watch TV, I can just hear it. And I just think I like the noise more than anything. But, you know, like, and if you're, you can pay enough attention to, like, YouTube. If somebody is showing something, you can glance at your computer or TV and see whatever it is that they're showing. And then you can go on about your business. Because you wouldn't have to, like, watch me, for example, score every one of these. You get it. Once you've seen me do it, you know that's what I'm doing now until I'm done with all 20 of them. So I say this is a 1-sheet wonder. Maybe I should say it's a 2-sheet wonder, because we're doing 2 sheets of designer series paper. Instead of making a 10 in one, we're making 20 in 2. But I still, it's gonna be 20 in less than an hour, for sure. So the paper is cut, like I said, at 5 by 7, and I'm scoring it at 3.5 because that's half of 7, so that way it will fold in half. This is a little bit smaller than an A2 sized card, but it is still a decent sized card. I scored a couple of these already, it looks like, so. Alright, so now that I have my cards cut, I might... Nope, I don't think so. I think I'm going to do something a little different than I usually do. Just because I like being different sometimes. And I'm going to take these and then I will score them with my bone folder. Or not score them, but burnish them with my bone folder. That helps keep the card down. And then what you do is you take your designer series paper and you just put it right on top. And isn't that cute? I mean, it just looks cute already. Or you could use the other side, depending on how you have your designer series paper. Or you could use this one. Since I cut 2, this is what they'll look like. Or that. So that's why I say you kind of need to pay attention to the way that it is, but you don't have to in every case, because it has 2 sides. I can use this side if I had cut this way. And you know what, even if I had cut it that it's this way, you could make the card long ways. So just know what you're doing and you'll be fine. It's easy. Okay, I am kind of thinking of something a little different. I am kind of thinking of putting this on the inside of the card. And just stamping on the outside of the card. Let's see how that looks. I found this stamp set that I haven't really used, at least not this part of it. This is the Flourishing Phrases, and this is there's 2 stamps, 2 boxes or whatever. But I really liked this and I really liked this. So I figure I could do one or the other or both. And I am kind of thinking, see, I kind of like this idea of just stamping this right in the middle and then putting a thank you over here. And then I don't even really need these card fronts. So I cut these card fronts out. And so that's why I was thinking, well, maybe I'll put them on the inside. Or I could put them on the bottom of the inside and just write thank you and then put my name or whatever. So that's where I was going with this. But let me see how this looks, because I really think it's going to be cute. And I think I'm going to use my Misti for this just so I can hammer them all out really quickly. That's where the Misti comes in handy. Oh, but where did I put it? I've been messing around all weekend with my stuff. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. It's not at all where it belongs. So for this one, this is the mini Misti, and they all have a rubber thing. I'm just going to take that out because I won't need it for this. And then I will just put my card. Oops, it looks like it should go this way. So I don't know. I'm kind of even thinking this one would be cute. And you know what? It would even maybe be cute to be this way. So I might just change this whole thing up from my original plan. This is crafting in real life. And let's see, what color do I want to use? Well, I'm getting stuck on something. Night of Navy, maybe? Or elegant eggplant? Or maybe Tip Top Taupe. Goodness, so many choices. Well, I guess I should make it so it kind of matches with whatever this is. So there is Island Indigo would maybe be pretty. Or Watermelon Wonder. And then that one has pink. I might go with Watermelon Wonder. You know what? I'm going with Tip Top Taupe. Final choice. So I'm just going to ink it up, stamp it down. A little bit up there, didn't get it quite the way I want, so I'm going to stamp it one more time. Perfect. That's pretty cute, actually. So this is a little bit changed from what I had first thought it was going to be. Funny how how things change sometimes. Put the finished card over there. So I need to get some sort of, you know what, I'm going to score all of these first, I think. So come here, you cards. And having them scored already helps a lot. It's not absolutely necessary. I mean, you could line it up and you could do it yourself, but when they're already scored, it just makes it go a little faster and a little smoother. sorry, I'm not even saying anything. I'm just doing this because it's like such a easy thing to do. You're just kind of in a zone. That's what I'm talking about. You can get so many done really quickly. Now the Misti is not a Stampin' Up! Product. You can get this straight from the manufacturer, which is My Sweet Petunia. And I absolutely love it. It's not something that is a necessity for sure, but if you do a lot of cards, then I think that you would benefit from owning one. They aren't really cheap, but they are good little tools. And I do know that they have competitors, so you might be able to find a different brand that does the same or similar for less. I don't know. I haven't really checked into it. I heard about this one and got this one. And then I actually got the large size of this. And then they came out with the smaller size, and I thought, oh, I need that one too, because the other one's great for bigger stamps, but this one is great for most cards. And since I make a lot of cards, this size is just a little bit easier to work with. But I would recommend checking it out. And honestly, if you are a big crafter, I would recommend both, because I do use both. And this stamp set is available in the annual catalog. And like I said, it's a 2-stamp or a 2-set stamp, and so you get a lot, you get a big bang for your money. And the other package of stamps is all sentiments, well, sayings, I guess, like for the inside of a card or whatnot. Very nice. And the reason I picked it for this particular card was because it had a thank you, and I liked the way the font was on the thank you. So that's the whole reason I wanted to use this one, and then it turned into one thing after another thing, and now I'm not even sure if I'm going to use the designer series paper that I had intended. I might have to use that on 20 other cards. Oh, I didn't stamp that the best. Let me try that again. That's the beauty of the Misti. And it stands for, it's an acronym for something, most incredible stamping tool invented. I think that's right. And from what I understand, it was created by a stamper, which you can kind of tell because no one else would really understand the need. You know how stories go around though, so I'm not sure if that's true, but I would imagine that it's probably not, it doesn't sound too far-fetched to me. Maybe we should start a rumor. Say that Misti really doesn't stand for that. It was named after her daughter. I don't know, I'm just being silly. Don't start rumors. Not a good thing. Two more to go. Two more to go. Two more, two more. Two more, two more. Two more, two more. And then to clean this, the best thing to do is to take a wet wipe. I think I have one left in here. Oh, I think there might be two. Oh no, there's just one. And clean it up. I want to put this wet wipe back in because I can use it again. Because I think I'm going to stamp again. Because I want to stamp thank you. And let me find it. Here's the thank you that I liked. Now, if you were stamping everything in the same color and in the same way, you could stamp them together. But I think I'm going to put it this way, and I'm going to put it like right here, and I think I'm going to use blue for this. Isn't that pretty? So now I get to do this 20 more times. Oh, 19 more times. I've already done it once. But still, this is so simple and easy to do. Maybe I'll rename the video to 20 cards in 30 minutes or however long it takes me. Well, and I shouldn't count the time it took me to cut all those, which wasn't a ton of time, but still. To be fair to myself, if I'm not going to use them. Which I changed everything about this card. I changed the way it was going to look. I changed the format. And sometimes that happens, you know, you get something in your head and something else changes it completely. I think this turned out really cute though. I really like this. I would like to get this card. So if I would like to get it, I don't mind giving it. And you have to be careful of some of the embellishments you put on cards that you're going to mail, because sometimes if they stick up too much or would poke through the envelope, they will charge you extra and do all sorts of things. So I'm not going to put any embellishments on this. Even sometimes the little diamonds or rhinestones, not diamonds of course, but rhinestones or pearls that you can put on. Sometimes they'll poke through the envelope and then that gets to be frustrating. So I'm not going to put any embellishments on this, but I think a ribbon would be really cute if you were giving it to somebody, like personally. I'm not always careful about it, but when I'm making this many and sending this many, I don't want to have to pay extra postage on 20 cards. I'm sure you understand that. And even though these are smaller than an A2 size card, you can still use the A2 sized envelope just fine, because they're not too much smaller. It doesn't look awkward or anything. Last one. Alright, I'm going to put my blue up. I'm going to clean my stamp. In my Misti. I'm going to put this back. And I will put that back where it belongs. Okay, so now, gosh, I'm thinking we're done. Isn't that fast and easy? And I don't even know how long that took, but I think these cards turned out really cute. I would like this. Thank you so much. Or thank you so very much. And then I can write my little sentiment on the inside. So there we go. 20 cards in 20 minutes. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.